we should do a podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NANICAST. I'm saying this to you. Welcome to the NANICAST.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Yes, welcome to the second podcast that we've decided to do, Conquest Log Part 2.
Not that.
No, we've rebranded, we've renamed, we're coming at you with a fresh new outlook.
A fresh new brand.
Fresh start, fresh brand. We're going to have a sign. We're going to have many
You're really
things.
caught up on this sign.
I'm really caught up on this sign. Backstory, we went to see how much a sign would cost to make the logo, the inevitable logo that
the
you'll be
NANICAST logo.
seeing
Yeah.
if you're listening on Spotify or even if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be. I'll put the logo up somewhere.
Yeah. We went to a sign shop that is near us. I'm not going to say the name of the sign shop, even though it is very funny. But it will dox us.
It will dox us. But it's such a good name.
It's such a good name.
That's so sad.
Yeah. It's about a meter long, this sign, if we wanted it, probably like a square, and it would cost us about £450, which is a slightly higher investment than I think we're willing to go with on the first episode.
On the first episode, yeah.
So maybe episode 2.
We'll think about it.
If you want the sign, run this shit up.
Yeah.
Watch it all the way to the end. if you want to see
a cool, it lights up.
It lights up.
It's a light up sign. It will be the big NANICAST logo in the background right there. For listeners on Spotify.
Yes.
I'm sorry that you won't see the sign.
No. Maybe we can transition the sign into being the logo. And we just have a picture of the sign as the logo instead.
Maybe.
It could happen. Sure. It could happen. Anyway, yes, this is our new podcast. We are here to talk about many different things, whether it be anime, manga, music, general internet happenings.
Yeah, I think like the tagline and focus of this podcast is going to be like anime and manga, weeby stuff, and music.
Yeah.
And it's not a nerdcore podcast.
No.
I know if you know the two of us, which I assume you do if you're listening to the first episode, we are both nerdcore artists. We both make music about anime. This podcast isn't going to be about our work necessarily. It's going to come up.
Yeah,
it's going to come up
eventually. Yeah.
But that's not the focus. We're just here to talk about anime and manga.
Yeah.
And
for those of you that maybe are new, this is Shwabadi.
Oh, hi. I'm Shwabadi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Shwabadi, and I'm joined
by Conquest.
Yeah, my co-host,
and roommate. We're in the same house.
Not roommate. Housemate. I feel like. We do have different rooms.
Yeah.
We have a house together.
Yes, we do. We bought this house.
Yeah, it's probably news to some people.
Maybe
because I know we've talked about it a little bit on socials and on my live streams. But yeah, for those that don't know, me and Conquest, we now live together. We bought a house. And I'm pretty certain everyone in this neighborhood just thinks we're a gay couple.
Definitely. They definitely think we're together.
Yeah.
Your gym outfits don't help.
There's nothing wrong with my gym outfits.
There is. You had your fluorescent pink shorts on. You had your hairband in. You had your fucking rainbow bag that you bought the other day.
It was coordinated though, wasn't it?
It was very coordinated.
It looked very nice.
It was pretty.
Yeah. Look, I'm just a fashion-forward new resident of the cul-de-sac.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, so this podcast is called NANICAST. That, however, was not the first name that we anticipated and tried to come up with.
We went through several.
We did a big brainstorming session when we were like, we should bring a podcast back. We should do one when we get in. This was before we were moved in.
Yeah.
Because we were like, well, if we're going to be in the same environment, it'd be cool to do like an actual in-person table podcast. So I just want to go through some of the names because I found the note that we had.
I've forgotten all of the names.
Okay, then you're going to love this.
Brilliant.
Okay, I won't do it in order because I think some are better than others.
Okay.
But we have one, which is Weebwacker.
Weebwacker. Oh, I fucking love that one.
Weebwacker.
Weebwacker's so good.
If this was like an anime/MMA podcast, then maybe that would go quite well.
Anime and fighting games.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Weebwacker.
That's such a fucking good pun.
It is.
Oh my word.
We were thinking about One Piece at the time because we had the Talk no Mi.
The Talk no Mi.
Which I think is quite good. If anyone wants to make a One Piece podcast specifically and wants that name, go for it.
Or if it was a Naruto podcast, Talk no Jutsu.
Talk no Jutsu would also
Well,
be
not
good.
talk, just talk.
Oh yeah, Talk no Jutsu.
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to exist.
It has to.
Yeah,
There
I
has
thi-
to
I
be
think
like
that's
a,
gotta
you know, like
exist.
the like, what's it called that they do? Like the Anime Virgins podcast where they watch anime for the first time. I feel like a good like Naruto first time watching review is going to be Talk no Jutsu. You can have the idea.
Absolutely.
No charge.
No charge. Cursed speech.
That's pretty good.
pretty
Cursed
good.
speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. I like these ones, but they don't feel like
No.
related enough to what we're talking about.
Baldilocks and the Weeb Bear.
Goldilocks and the Wee Bear.
That's so
That's
good.
so funny.
That's definitely the best one, and
Ah.
I think there's going to be a lot of people that are disappointed that we
It's
didn't
not
go
Baldilocks and the Weeb Bear. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what we look like, if you're listening to this on a podcasting app, Connor Quest is bald.
Yes, and Shwabadi is a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that one explained.
Yeah.
Goldilocks and the Wee Bear is so fucking funny.
Why foolery?
Why foolery?
Yeah.
See, that would be good if it was focused around anime
Specifically
women.
waifus.
Yeah.
And
Fuck.
stuff like that.
Why foolery?
Why foolery is very
That's
good.
fun.
And last one, I'm not a furry, but that's the podcast with the ellipses.
But.
And
That's
again,
so funny because it has nothing to do with anime.
no, it has absolutely no. But furries, if you want a podcast name, I'm not a furry, but works. But it has to. You have to specifically have someone with you that is not a furry.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like 2 furries and someone who is not, and then
I think that would be a great like interview podcast.
yeah,
It's just 2 furries host an interview podcast.
with specifically non-furry people,
Yeah.
and they just like introduce them to the world of and like see what they like and
Yeah.
what they don't.
That sounds fire.
That's a very good.
That sounds
That's a very good
We've
concept.
just dropped so many good concepts for podcasts. Why are we doing NANICAST?
I don't know. We've picked the worst one.
We might
But no,
have.
we did go with NANICAST in the end because we just thought it was a fun tagline that wasn't too specific.
Yeah,
or-
I thought when you said, I think it was you who said NANICAST first. I was like, that exists.
Yeah.
It can't not exist.
Yeah.
NANICAST. And we looked it up, and it just doesn't.
No.
Which is mad.
There may potentially be one. However, it was set up like 3 years ago and has like 0 content on it.
Yeah.
So, and it was called the NANICAST,
The
I
NANICAST,
believe.
yeah,
So,
which is different to ours.
yeah, and we also have the exclamation point and the question mark
Yeah,
in
true.
the branding. So,
The Interrobang.
sure.
Interrobang, it's all right. Ours isn't actually an interrobang. An interrobang is where you take an exclamation mark and question mark and you combine them into one piece of punctuation.
I see. It's
Yeah.
not where you fuck a hostage.
That's like it's like if Bang Bus did interrogations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Yeah.
it's not that. But thank you for asking.
That's where my mind went to immediately.
Well, it would,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Or like one of those porn scenarios where it's like, oh, the policewoman has come to see the prisoner.
Yeah.
What will happen? It's like, well, they're going to shag.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's an interrobang.
yeah, it's an interrobang. Of course they're going to shag.
Yeah, not that, but
No.
there's another good idea. We've pivoted now from giving free ideas for podcasts into free ideas for pornos.
Yeah.
This is an ideas machine.
This is a gold mine.
This is a gold mine.
Anyway, quick side note: it is also 40 degrees in this room. Not exactly, but it feels that way.
It does feel very hot.
It's extremely hot in the UK right now. So if we at any point look like we are sweltering, we are.
Yeah. If I look like a melting wax figure,
Yeah.
it's because of the heat. It happens.
Exactly. That's why we have our Dwinkies.
Our little drinks.
Stay hydrated.
Always. You
Yes.
say that drinking a Monster
Yeah,
Energy. I actually have water.
Yeah, it's liquid.
So is molten metal. It's not going to hydrate you. Whatever. Anyway.
Has anyone ever tried?
I hope not.
You say that. How do we know if it's never been done? It's like everyone would think sticking your hand in lava hurts, but has anyone ever actually been stupid enough to do it?
I bet someone has. Definitely.
I think there might have been a thing I saw on Twitter where it was like, man eats lava but refuses to tell anyone what it tastes like.
The power move.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Super duper power move.
Have you seen those videos of like, I think it's somewhere in India, there's an active volcano that just leaks magma, so you can go there and you can prod it and you can throw stuff into the magma and see what happens. Seen that shit?
No.
Oh, it's always like people doing shit that's nowhere near as exciting as stuff I would do if I was there.
Yeah.
They go there and they're like, ooh, we're going to prod the lava with this long stick, and I'm like, put like something in it.
Throw a sofa in there. Like,
yeah, fuck it.
What's
gonna happen to a fucking futon if you throw it in a like, come on, have some creativity. The best one I saw was someone throwing a Coke can in.
Okay, yeah.
Which, and then explodes.
Yeah.
And It's very cool. But like, that's it.
That's a new YouTube channel, like classic 2008. Is it a good idea to throw this in a volcano?
Yes. Oh, anyone who if you live near an active volcano, that is a fucking this is a idea mill.
Yeah.
Y'all don't understand how much you could be listen to this podcast and you're just instantly going to start making money. Because our ideas are fucking so good, dude.
And we want stocks. We want shares.
We want percentages. Yeah. It's not... I know I said earlier it's free. I mean, there's no upfront cost. You feel me?
But yes. I suppose we should probably get on to the meat of this podcast, which is the anime and manga sections and the whole reason. I mean, it's sort of just a picture to slap on the front of it so that we actually get engagement, really. Because I can guarantee 90% of the things we end up talking about will have nothing to do with such things.
Well, yeah, but what I think we're going to end up doing is we're gonna develop some sort of informal structure that I think will end up like casual intro, which we've just done. That's what that was, right? Bit of back and forth, just whatever we feel like. Then we go into anime and manga, and this is like a third of the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? And then we could transition it to something else, like music or whatever, for another third, and then close it up with, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be a staple. It's going to be a big meat and vegetable chunk of our Sunday dinner podcast.
Yeah. Big toad in the hole.
Big toad in the hole.
Massive Yorkshire pudding.
Fucking big old anime Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah.
This means nothing to most of the people listening. They do not know what a toad in the hole is.
So what a toad in the hole is basically you generally two sausages.
Yeah.
You put them in a Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, do they know what a Yorkshire pudding is in America?
A Yorkshire pudding, basically, if you're in America, take some pancake mix and whack it in the oven. You have a Yorkshire pudding.
That's mad.
Yeah.
That's crazy that it's just a pancake mix.
Anyone can make it.
Anyone can make it.
If you've never had a Yorkshire pudding,
you get a muffin tray.
Start making pancakes and then put it in the oven.
Start making pancakes and then do it terribly wrong, and you've got a Yorkshire pudding.
There you go.
They're like a savoury, crispy, delicious... not pastry. What would you...
Oh, God. I don't know what to classify it as.
It's just fried batter,
really,
isn't it?
It's just sort of...
But anyway,
batter,
we've got our fried batter Yorkshire pudding, and then you stick your sausages in it, and that's a toad in the hole.
Yeah.
Because as everyone knows, toads are long cylinders of meat.
They can be. Depends what you do to them.
I suppose it does. Yeah. What? Where was this going?
Anime and manga.
Oh, yeah.
So... one thing that I believe is a good starting talking point that is quite relevant, both to us and to many people watching, is Chainsaw Man.
Oh, yes.
Part 2 is coming out very, very soon.
I think as of recording, it's coming out next week, but by the time this goes up, it'll probably have already started.
Yeah.
Releasing.
Yeah, likely.
So Connor's just finished Chainsaw Man.
I have.
The other day.
I think I read from 1 to 4 when I was in America.
Volumes, we're talking here.
Volumes, yeah. Volumes 1 to 4 when I was in America. And then I came home, picked up volume 5 a couple of days ago, and then read all the way to the end because it was just, I couldn't stop.
Gas, yes. Bro, I promise that's how everyone I know has consumed Chainsaw Man, is like reading a little at a time at the intro, and then just hitting a certain point where they just blitz it to the end.
Because you just can't stop.
Nah.
You genuinely can't stop. It's like Pringles.
It is like Chainsaw Man is like manga Pringles.
Yeah.
And soon to be anime Pringles.
Oh,
Because getting an adaptation later this year.
I love me some anime Pringles.
I love me some anime Pringles.
Yeah.
They taste like
cardboard.
What is an anime flavor?
Cardboard and the tears of animation teams.
The sweat of the Mappo workshop.
they're gonna be fucking worked to the bone.
Yeah.
For Chainsaw Man, because there's some fight scenes that are just, I don't know how they're gonna animate that. To
there's some
standard.
visuals that are in Chainsaw Man, and I think by the way, while we're talking about like anime and manga, we're gonna try and avoid spoilers.
Yeah, we'll
wherever
try our
possible.
Best. We'll try our best.
Don't be afraid if you hear the name of a manga or anime you haven't consumed yet. We're gonna try and not, spoil anything.
Yeah,
but
we're
with
friendly.
Chainsaw Man, there's some visuals and some moments where you're like, how is this going to be adapted? How is this going to be animated?
No, absolutely. I mean, I do trust whoever's doing it, because I mean the trailers look good. It's apparently not going to be censored, which you just couldn't do it if it was. There's no way you could do it if it was. Like, not that one.
No.
Not that one. But in terms of the anime, really what we're just, because we know the story anyway.
Yeah.
What we're really looking in the anime is just how are things going to be adapted, because we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So really it's just a visual experience.
I want to experience the story again, but like visually differently. So I hope they do a good job. The trailer does look
voices,
excellent.
like voice actors and stuff.
Do you have character voices in your head?
Sort of, yeah.
I'm gonna be.
It depends who it's for.
Because I have a voice for like Denji, Power, Makima.
Yeah.
It's
me, Denji.
No, that's not him. He's not a rustage One Piece D&D character. But I have all these voices in my head for how they're supposed to sound. So if like it gets adapted and it's just totally different, I'm gonna be so upset. But I mean,
what do you care more about in that sense, the Japanese voice actors or the dub voice actors?
I'll probably I don't know. I probably won't watch it in the dub. There's only a few anime that I watch in dub because I think the dub is like serves it better.
Yeah.
Like Haikyuu,
Kaguya-sama,
Cowboy Bebop. Have you seen Cowboy Bebop?
I haven't. No.
The dub is so fucking good. Like there's I think comedy anime works really well with a dub.
Yeah.
Because obviously the comedy translates better when it's in our language.
Yeah.
But also I just think like some older like classic anime like Cowboy Bebop, Hellsing, they just work. Oh, the dub is so good for some reason. For reason.
You were saying this the other day when we were in the car, that when it came to like older sort of more classic animes and films, don't they normally just get famous people rather than voice actors?
That's not like older films, that's Ghibli films.
Oh, I see.
Like Ghibli films, the dubs just don't hire voice actors a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They'll just hire like Christian Bale was in Howl's Moving Castle. Liam Neeson was in Ponyo. It's like, these aren't voice actors.
No.
They're just famous dudes. But Ghibli's like, we got the fucking money.
Yeah.
Why not?
I say that's what most animated films do.
Yeah.
Like whether it's like Illumination or Pixar or anything, it's just, Tom Hanks is Woody. Like that's just how it is. That you. To be fair,
most of those performances, if you get a good actor,
they're
also a good voice actor.
It's just it's definitely a different skill.
Yeah.
Because you're not.
It's not always good.
No, because you're as an actor, you can rely a lot on your expressions and how good you are at that and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio has been in a voice acting role to my knowledge.
I can't think of one.
No, but maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe he doesn't feel confident in his vocal emotive performance. Tom Hanks is a very vocally emotive person. Leonardo DiCaprio, fantastic actor, but he's always a little bit he takes a lot in his expressions, the actions he does on screen, physicality, Maybe I'm talking out my ass because he probably has this long list of voice acting roles we just don't know about. Yeah. But what we're looking for with us, this is what my original point was, is we're looking at part 2 and thinking, what the fuck is going to happen in part 2?
Yeah.
Because
there's a lot of like series that get to a point, like a stopping point, and it's like, okay, to be continued, and you know where it's gonna go, right? It has obvious things that are leading on from it. With Chainsaw Man, it stops in a place where it's like, yes, there is room for a sequel. Yes, there's clear space for it to continue, but how? What are you gonna do?
How?
What's the story?
I can't say the point that I made to you the other day because that is just like straight up spoilers.
Yeah, again, we'll avoid spoilers.
But it's just you're in a completely different scenario now.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be the same thing. And I don't think what's the author's name?
I always forget it.
Yeah.
I think he's got like kind of a generic Japanese name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Fujimoto or something. No,
Yeah.
that's not.
No.
That's a different author.
So someone wrote Chainsaw Man.
The author of
And
Chainsaw Man.
They are very good at completely subverting expectation.
Yeah.
So I think even if you go into it expecting it to be a certain way, it's just not going to be that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in what new characters they develop for it, because there definitely will be new characters. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Chainsaw Man, like, after reading it, became like one of my top 5 shonen ever.
Yeah.
Like after first reading. And the more I sort of meditate on it and I watch content about it and I think about it and I reread it, the better it gets.
Oh yeah.
Like the more I think about it, the better it gets. Right
yeah.
now it's probably top 3 series for me, like of all time.
There's so many little details that you 100% miss the first time round, and like going back in panels and seeing the things that led up to the twist.
Yeah.
Once you know the twist, obviously, and just then catching them and being like, "Oh, these were here, and we've connected all the fucking dots."
Yeah.
And
What I think my favorite thing about Chainsaw Man, its biggest strength for me, is that it like sets up a lot of ideas that you expect to become tropey, but then subverts those tropes.
Yeah.
Whether it's like character arcs or character relationships or its story points, whatever it is. It's like, I mean, like the relationship between certain characters, it puts you on a path and you expect to know the result, and then it just completely, like, without saying anything, but like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, like there's one part very early on where I was just like, oh yeah, I've recently read this scene in Bleach. Like, I've just recently watched this happen, this exact thing happen. And then it was like, no, you fucking didn't. Just completely turned everything on its head. Yeah. And it was just, crazy.
I love that. I love that so much.
I don't think this is a spoiler.
Okay.
I don't think this is a spoiler. Chainsaw Man is not afraid of death.
Chainsaw Man is not afraid of death.
Chainsaw Man is not afraid of death. That's all I'll say. If you've watched Game of Thrones, you know what I mean by that.
Yeah. It's
and that I do love that. I do love that about any anime or any story that's just.
But
not
death
afraid
never
to
feels
do that.
cheap.
No, it definitely never feels cheap. I think in Attack on Titan, a lot of the times it did start to feel like very cheap. There were people just kind of dying left, right, and center that you didn't really care about that much. Like, I know a lot of people were sad about a particular death of someone that Levi knows, and that's all I say, just because I don't want to spoil Attack on Titan for anyone, but you'll probably know who I mean. I personally didn't give a shit, because it just like there were maybe it's different in the manga, but in the anime they had like 2 episodes maybe for you to get to know them, and I didn't feel anything at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just everything in Chainsaw Man is way more impactful than I'm seeing in a lot of other series, whether that's death or whether it's just like story beats and character arcs. Fuck the character arcs, man.
Yeah, and the comedy is hilarious.
It's so funny. Well. It's genuinely so
really,
funny.
Really funny.
Like, I feel like every character, bar like a couple, have like their own very good, very within their own character comedy moments that are just like so memorable.
Yeah, and they all have their own very sweet moments as well.
Yeah.
There's just so much depth in like everyone.
There's so good, man.
Depth in everyone. It's so good. I'm very glad that I read it. I'm very glad that there's more content coming out of it soon, because I did not realize that there was like end of part 1 and there was going to be a part 2. And excited for the anime as well.
Me too. All right.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man. Woo! We love Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking with this like anime and manga section, what would be, because this is chapter 1, I nearly said.
Chapter 1.
This is episode 1.
Episode 1.
I feel like it would be good to establish what we do and don't like. So let's just go through off the dome. Top 3 least favorite anime.
Okay, top 3 least.
This doesn't need to be like what you think is the worst anime. It's just stuff that you enjoyed the least.
I see. Fairy Tail.
I haven't watched it, but I'll be honest, I have not heard good things.
I watched 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And it just didn't grab me. That's the only thing. So I can't give like an in-depth analysis of like the whole show, because I would have been there for years. It's so long. It's so unnecessarily long, it feels. But yeah, just when I watch like a good, like, that's like 4 hours of my life.
Yeah.
Like, you should have me by then. If I'm spending 4 hours, that's long. That's nearly 2 movies. Like, I could have watched 2 very good films in that time and got way more enjoyment than the 6-episode slog that the start of Fairy Tail was.
That's so sad.
It just didn't grab me at all. I know there's probably great moments in it. There probably is, but it just if you don't get me early, then I'm not gonna sit through. It's like, oh, it gets better later. It's like, no, it fucking doesn't. It doesn't. It probably doesn't. And I'm not gonna waste. I'm gonna go watch something that's good in the first 6 episodes and then continues to be good the whole way through.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, I haven't seen it, but I haven't heard any good things about it. The only person I know who likes it is Afro. Yeah. Afro Legacy. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't value his opinion.
He likes it, but he hasn't given me any reason to also like it.
No.
Every time I say I don't like it, he's like, yeah, fair. And I'm like, don't convince me then. That's fine.
Fair enough.
What's one of yours? We'll go 1, 2, 1, 2.
One of mine is Tokyo Revengers.
Oh.
I watched, I think, 10 episodes of it while it was airing, and I hated almost every moment of it.
It's not good.
The thing is, it starts off with a really interesting premise. It's this dude who's kind of a loser. He's like, 20-something years old. Finds out he has the ability to go back into the past. And some of the moments in his life where he's like, this is where things started going downhill. He wants to try and right them, correct them. But he just doesn't. Because he's such a fucking pussy. Like, he just... And I get, like, Takemichi's the main character, right? Yeah. And it's a bit of a meme online. Oh, Takemichi's a pussy, but it's okay. We like Tokyo Revengers for the other characters. Yeah. And I'm like, Draken and Mikey are cool, but they don't do a lot. They just kick people in the face. Yeah. Which is like, if you're just like, yeah, I'm just in anime for the fight scenes, for the badass moments. There's so many better anime.
Yeah. I mean, that's why people like Zoro.
Yeah.
He's just a guy with swords that cuts people.
Which is great.
There's not a lot of emotional depth in Zoro.
Which is great when he's surrounded by, more characters with way more depth, because it's all balanced out. Yeah. But imagine if there was a show that was just like 6 Zoros and they were all 13. Does that sound like a good premise?
No.
Of course not.
No.
It's shite.
Yeah.
I just hate... The thing is as well, like, there are characters that, like, fan favorites, I just didn't get. No. I was like, I don't get why people like this character so much. No. He's kind of cool, I guess, but he's very, very one note.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's my Tokyo Revengers review.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was so popular when it came out.
No. Is this, like, just what we've seen, or, like, kind of popular thing? Do they have to be popular things?
They don't have to be popular, no.
Okay, good. Tower of God was dreadful.
Tower of God was popular, wasn't it?
It was pretty popular at the time, yeah. It was dreadful, though.
I've heard it was a terrible adaptation.
It was, yeah.
I've been told to read the webtoon, though. I don't know if you've...
I think I was told a similar thing, but even then, like, it's difficult when your story revolves around, like, the guy following a certain person, and that person is obviously shit. but it's like, oh, but
Yeah.
they're just so infatuated with that person and they look up to them so much and they want to be with them, so they're following that journey despite them, kicking them down. I don't enjoy that. I just feel like he's being a fucking idiot. I just feel like he's being a dickhead, and that there's no reward at all. He's not even getting like more powerful. He's not, really getting much else out of it. He's just following this person blindly into the abyss. And again, there were some cool characters and some cool things developing, but again, I watched 10 episodes and it just has not grabbed me. There were like 4. It's one of those things where they kind of go through different trials and tribulations in each one. Some of them were very interesting. Some of them were very cool. By like the 6th one, it's like, alright, like we've done like 7 different things now in 7 different episodes. Like, can we have some like just a portion where we're going through like an actual storyline? Because otherwise it just feels like I'm watching like anime Total Wipeout. Like, that's all it feels like. And I'm just like, what's going on?
Anime Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tower of God wasn't a good adaptation.
I would watch Anime Ninja Warrior.
Oh, I would. Yeah.
Probably
that would be
quicker than I'd watch
quite good, yeah.
Tower of God. But yeah, no, I get that. I've never felt the need to watch that, to be honest. I just heard a lot of people didn't enjoy it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay clear.
Yeah.
What else have I got? Oh, here's an easy one. 7 Deadly Sins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dreadful.
Just
Dreadful.
wank.
Annoys me because there's so many good ideas in it.
Yeah.
There's so many good ideas in it. Like when I like learned the like full story of Meliodas and Elizabeth, I was like, oh, like that's so like sweet and tragic and good, and it's just like you just gave it to the worst person.
Yeah.
Like, you added all these other shitty things onto him that just made me not care about the actual like emotional tug that you're meant to have.
There are some crazy like good emotional beats in there, like Bond's backstory and a King and Deanna. Like that shit. Like I think I was watching season 2 on a bus, on a coach back from London, and I was just like weeping. So I was like, this is so good. And then just some bullshit happened again, where I was reminded of the main story. I was like, oh yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's got some really good character ideas and moments just strung together with a horseshit generic story. Yeah, and a main character I couldn't give a single fuck about.
The main story is just so boring.
Yeah.
It's Bleach light. It really is. Like I've only just started reading Bleach, and it's incredible how much of a rip-off 7 Deadly Sins is of Bleach. Like when you get down to it, it's like, oh, this guy, he's going to face the 10 Commandments, and it's like, yes, I've seen Ichigo fight the 10 Espada. It's like we've done this. We've done this, Meliodas.
Yeah.
We've been here before. And like the only unique factors of it were those like emotional moments. But like you say, they weren't the focus. They were side character story exposition. It's like, no, make this what everything is sort of working towards.
Give me a show about Barn.
Yeah.
I would much prefer that.
Yeah.
Man.
Honestly.
Even Escanol's more interesting than Meliodas.
Yeah, with his little...
And he's just All Might.
Yeah, he is. He's just All Might with more steps. That's all he is.
Okay.
Last one for me. The Tokyo Ghoul adaptation was not good.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
I've just... Anyone I've talked to about Tokyo Ghoul, they're like, read the manga.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah, the Tokyo Ghoul adaptation was not good. Specifically, the first set of series, like Tokyo Ghoul, not Tokyo Ghoul Ari, which I've not, or Tokyo Ghoul Ri, whatever it is. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it
Tokyo Guri?
Tokyo Guri.
I do not know.
No.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so I watched the first. I think there's 2 seasons of it.
Yeah.
There's like fucking Tokyo Ghoul and then like Tokyo Ghoul A squared or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're making it so
Tokyo
confusing.
Ghoul to the power of 6. Like what?
Yeah. The pacing of that second set of like whatever it was, just dreadful. Like, I didn't, it just, things just fucking happened, like, so quickly, and I didn't know, I couldn't follow what was happening, because you physically cannot follow.
I hate that shit. Like, the only thing I hate worse than, like, a really slow, drawn-out story is one that's just so quick that you're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, why is it happening? You're not left to sit with anything.
No.
It's why I think I love One Piece's pacing so much, because it strikes the balance between, like, giving you enough time for things to sit with you and to think about them, and for, like, you to form connections with ideas before, you know, big action moments and sequences and progressions of the story.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's another one that I'm thinking of, like an anime or a manga that I went through, like, semi-recently, like last year, that, like, the pacing was just insane. Like, I was like, what is fucking happening? But I can't remember what it was. Oh, God, it was something from last year. I don't know. But yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, I'll definitely read the manga.
Yeah.
Last one for me. Least favorite. Oh shit! What did I say already? Tokyo Revengers and Seven Deadly Sins.
Seven Deadly Sins. One more.
Fuck. The issue is there's so much anime that I've watched that is really, like, mid.
Yeah.
It's just forgettable. So I'm trying not to pick any of those.
I think that counts, though.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of a real stinker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A real stinky one.
A real stinky one.
Yeah.
There was... Oh, fuck. God of High School.
Yeah.
I could not watch past the 4th episode.
No.
It was so dreadful, dude. Like, it opened and it was like, there's some cool animation here. The fight scenes are interesting. And it just, after, like, half an episode, turned into really strong main character. Has a male and female side character that have their own little quirks, and they're also quite strong. And he has to fight bad guys. And there's literally there's nothing else to it. It's like it's like somebody tried to, like, describe the Chunin exams from memory.
Yeah.
And to top it off, the animation that was, like, the really cool animation that was displayed in the first episode didn't carry over. I'll say that much for the first 4 episodes. I was like, the immediate drop in quality was disappointing.
Yeah.
And then the story was just so shite. Oh my God. I can't remember what the story was, but during the 4th episode, the entire thing is just about how one of the side characters is in an arranged marriage or something. And look, and if I got that wrong, don't correct me, because I don't fucking care. It's God of High School, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Let's talk about our favorites. We've been negative Nancy's for too long.
Yeah,
Top 3,
Top
and
3.
You don't need to commit to this as your 3 favorites.
Okay.
Just 3 off the dome that you love.
Okay. So, first of all, Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
The original manga and Brotherhood.
Brotherhood was the first anime that I watched all the way through, actually.
Yes, it was. Same with me, actually, yeah.
I need to rewatch it, because I haven't since I first watched it, and that was when I was, like, 16.
You shouldn't rewatch it, you should reread it.
Oh, I should.
Because that is the full, core, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Brotherhood still takes a couple of liberties here and there, less so than what the original one did, because the liberties on that were the fucking...
Well, I've heard
they were bigger than the statue. Like,
I've heard the Full Metal Alchemist adaptation, like the original anime, is still good, even though it's not.
It's still good. Yeah, it is still good. It's just they introduce a completely new character that just does not exist in the original.
Yeah.
That is mental that they are a character.
Right.
It's just the fact that they're not actually in the original. And if I told you the name of this person, you would go, "What do you mean they're a different character?" Like, they're so important in the original,
right? And they just changed them.
And they
entirely.
just changed it entirely.
Okay.
Well, they didn't change it. It's complicated. It's very complicated, but it just changed the entire thing. It's funny as well with the 2 is they start differently. One of them starts in the sort of sand town where they fight the priest. This is like literally the first volume, so I don't count this as a spoiler. That one of them starts in the town where they fight the priest, and one of them starts with the introduction of Scar, and then goes to one of them starts with what happens to Ed and Alphonse.
Right, okay.
Then goes to the introduction of Scar, follows a little bit of that, and then like 5 episodes in, they visit the Sandtown and fight the priest, because that's part of their like actual mission.
Yeah.
And just the disparity of the two is really weird, because I started watching the original, so I'd watched all the Sandtown stuff,
right,
and then I got told, oh, you should probably watch Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll make the switch, like, while it's not too late. And I got 4 episodes in, and I watched the fucking Sand Village arc again, and I was like, oh my god.
That's hilarious.
It was just funny what they decided to like go with in terms of pacing.
I understand certain things that they change with adaptations, but one thing I never get is changing the structure of how the story is told, like changing the structure of the narrative. Like Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 was it adaptation? I think, with the more recent one, showed like. Have you watched Hunter x Hunter?
I've watched 8 episodes.
Well, there's a scene really early on in the original adaptation, in the original manga, which like introduces you to a character who's super important later and is like really important in this big emotional arc and this big story point. In the 2011, you have Discord notifications on. Sorry,
I'll turn those off.
Right. In the 2011 one, they don't show that scene at the start. They show it when the character's introduced, and it's just bizarre because it like. Now that the character's introduced way later, you have no emotional connection. The character doesn't seem to have any connection to the main character. He just shows up.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, in the original, he was introduced right from the start. So it's like, why would you change that? What does it do?
Nothing.
It's just mad.
Nothing. It is strange what they decide.
Well, I want to be in the board meeting at the anime studio when someone's like, here, you can adapt this anime. We've just got the rights to it. And you go, so what are we changing? What do you don't need to. It's a script. It is a storyboard and script.
Yeah.
Just follow it.
Yeah.
But what do we need to change? How do we make it better? It's critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
You don't need to change it.
They did the same thing with Blue Exorcist as well.
All right.
There's 2 seasons of Blue Exorcist.
Yeah.
And I think like both of them finish differently.
Yeah.
So the first season finishes completely differently to the manga. The manga's still going, by the way.
Yeah.
And these came out in like 2014 or like 2012 or whatever. So the first season ends just complete non sequitur and is the end of the anime. And it's like the end of like the storyline. So it's like, oh, okay, so season 2 is obviously going to be the continuation of the story. No. Season 2 actually retcons season 1, goes back to like 3/4 of the way through season 1 and takes you on a completely different story that also then deviates from the manga.
What the fuck?
It's insane. It's literally like multiverses like within
That's hilarious.
this series that doesn't need them.
Yeah.
Like the
alternate timelines.
Yeah, I understand a little bit because Blue Exorcist, I believe, has been a monthly for a very long time, so it's a very slow story coming out. It's only on like 26 volumes now, 27. So I can imagine like 5 years ago there were like 10.
Yeah.
You know, maybe more, just slightly more or slightly less. But so I get it in that sense. But could you not just wait? Do you have to adapt it now when it's barely done?
Yeah.
Like, just fucking wait.
I just can't imagine that happening in any other media where it's like, we're about a quarter of the way through the script and someone's like, we're going to start filming.
Yeah.
But we don't know what's going to happen.
No.
So, and it's like, we'll make it up as we go.
I mean, Game of Thrones sort of did that.
Game of Thrones did.
I think he was at least like 3 books in. So they had like enough content to start. Yeah. It just happened to be so popular that they were like, we're filming the next one. So they ran out of content. But like they had enough to work with.
Well, apparently George R.R. Martin told them what was going to happen. He told them what the events were in the book, and then they just adapted it horribly.
Yeah. They did.
It's yeah. Man, I just can't imagine being a screenwriter and you show up to set and they're filming a scene. You're like, what scene is this? And you're like, oh, it's the one after where you finish writing. I'm the writer. You can't do that.
I understand, like, certain part, like, what One Piece will do a lot is add things in that aren't part of the story, but still work to extend episode length. Like
filler.
Yeah, like there was a one recently that was a fight between Sanji and someone else.
Right.
That didn't happen in the manga. You just saw they're about to fight. Move on.
Oh yeah, I have seen that. They
but
just
in the anime they actually had them fighting a little bit for like 2-3 minutes.
They did the same thing with it was like Luffy and Long Kid like fighting some Marines or something.
Yeah.
And in the manga it's just like a little scrap and whatever.
Yeah.
And in the anime it was like one of the most incredible. Have you seen the sequence?
I have, yeah.
It's like insane and it's filler. It's like what?
It's so
but
good.
I like that. That's the kind of filler that I'm a fan of, where it just fleshes out a scene and makes it way more epic.
It's enhancement.
Right?
It's
Rather than like Naruto filler.
Yeah.
Where it's they
go to Duty Town and they have to save all the duty bugs. Like for no reason.
I watched Naruto as a kid, like on Jetix, right? So it was just random episodes. I didn't watch the series.
Yeah.
And most of what I watched was the Chunin exams, but there was one thing. There was an episode I remember watching, and it was just before the Zabuza bit, the bridge, where they went on a different mission, and they had to, like, rescue a dog that was lost or something. And I don't remember if that was in the manga, like, if it was just, like, a smaller scene in the manga.
Yeah.
But it was, like, I swear it was a dedicated episode to them just walking around a village trying to find a dog.
I don't actually remember the dog scene, no.
Fuck, did you watch the anime?
That. I did, yeah.
Okay.
I've watched, like, 80 episodes of the anime or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've watched up to... After, I think it's just when Naruto is about to get his, like, two tails and is, like, fighting Orochimaru. Yeah. Like, I think I've watched up to there, like, anime-wise.
My experience with anime as a kid is so funny, because I didn't start watching anime really until I was, like, 18, 19.
Yeah.
But when I was, like, 13, 14, it was on TV, and I'd catch random episodes, and the only things I watched was random episodes of Dragon Ball Z, so I had no idea what was going on. It was just guys going, and hitting each other. I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Bobobo.
Oh, God, I used to watch Bobobo all the time.
So
that
good,
was on
right?
Dex, yeah.
Bobobo's probably the series that I ended up watching the most of.
Yeah, it was so good.
It's so funny to me, though, because Bobobo's like, a parody of shonen anime, and it plays to all these tropes. I didn't know anything about anime when I was a kid, and it was still fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was so great. Yeah. It's a classic. It's an absolute classic.
And then the other one was Naruto. I do remember catching a couple of episodes of One Piece, but for some reason, just these random episodes of the anime that I caught stick with me now from when I was a kid, and they stick with me. The 2 episodes of One Piece I ever watched was Usopp's introduction on Syrup Village, right, and Reverse Mountain. And I remember watching them and thinking, this is dog shit. This seems like such a bad series.
Oh no!
And look at me now.
Yeah. I think the One Piece section that I watched was Baratie.
Oh yeah.
Which obviously is kind of goated.
Yeah.
Like there's so many good things that actually happen there that you don't realize until you look back. It's like it's the introduction of Sanji. It's the introduction of Mihawk.
Yeah.
It's the introduction of Don Krieg.
Oh. One of these things is not like the other. Oh, that legend.
Yeah.
Oh,
the ever living myth of Geen as well.
Geen.
Miss that man.
I miss him so much.
Yeah.
It does introduce you to a lot, though.
It does.
Oh man, I love One Piece so much.
Yeah.
Here's one of my favorite mangas of all time. One
Piece. Yeah, I think we can just join our 2 there.
One Piece is so incredible, man.
This is only number 2.
This is we started on a bit of a negative note, but now that we're on to the positives, we're just ranting about things we love, and I think that's going to be the core of this podcast. Is going to be a little bit of complaining and then just ranting about things we really like.
Well, we did just complain a lot about adaptations in that.
True. All right, it might be more 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50. We'll split it up. We'll divide it.
Dude, One Piece is so crazy.
One Piece is very, very good.
I was always turned off from One Piece because of not only how long it was, but also I just didn't like the art style.
Yeah.
But, like, man, you get into it, and, like, the art style, like, I now love.
It's gotten better.
The art's gotten better,
Yeah.
but like even like the stylization of it is something I now really love, and I
Yeah.
think the difference is seeing it in action, seeing a story told through this style is
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just see it for the first time, you're like, why does everyone look like that? Why? Yeah, I'm not into it.
It is crazy that we've kind of caught like a peak sort of moment in One Piece, that we've kind of been able to be around for the... It's the first time I think I've been reading something weekly that a massive thing has happened.
Yeah.
That's the first time that's ever happened for me. So
the
I
only
loved
time that's
it.
happened with me before was with Jujutsu Kaisen. But that wasn't... None of those moments were as astronomical as stuff that happens in One Piece. But I mean, that just speaks to One Piece's like scale.
Yeah, it really does. And there has been so many of those moments already that people have lived through.
It's insane to think people were reading it weekly when, you know, some of the things around chapter 400 to 500 were happening, like Marineford and stuff. And
people were experiencing that the way we're experiencing Wano now.
Yeah,
like
insane. If anyone is listening to this and they haven't started One Piece, like, I know it seems like, oh, it's a lot, it's 1,000 chapters. Catching up to One Piece is not the goal.
No.
Just read it.
Yeah.
Because every arc is amazing.
Yeah. It's not like there's, oh, you should catch up to One Piece because what's happening now is good. No, everything has been incredible.
Yeah, catch up to One Piece because literally everything you will read along the way is just so fucking good.
Reading up to Marineford and just stopping there completely if you wanted to is still worth it.
Yeah.
Just you won't be able to stop there because you're gonna want.
Because you're like,
well,
oh my god.
But yeah, it's such a worthwhile story in every single aspect leading up to what we're at now.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, you know, oh, it gets good after, you know, chapter 300. It's like, no, it's good before then, it's good after it, it's good now. It's not like, you know, in terms of it being in one of the big three, what it doesn't do that Bleach and Naruto do is completely fall off and be a shite story. Like, even if you don't like an arc, there's moments in it and there's just clear, incredible writing.
Yeah,
and
this is what I'm gonna say, because I dog you about this all the time, right? Is the Skypiea arc of One Piece is my least favorite arc of One Piece.
It's my favorite.
Even though it's my least favorite arc, it's still better than most other arcs in anime.
Yeah,
like genuinely,
100%.
Like, it still has moments that left me like shook.
Yeah, I cried multiple times during the Skypiea arc.
I didn't cry in Skypiea.
It's
but
probably
I
the
don't
arc,
blame you for
the
crying.
arc that has made me cry the most amount of times.
Ridiculous.
That's
an absurd statement.
No. It's not. Individual times. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, individual times. Obviously, I cried at singular moments of other ones, the big ones, but they didn't make me cry multiple times.
Skypiea had like 1 or 2 sad moments.
3. 103.
Water
4,
7,
actually.
Water 7 in his lobby.
Yeah, 1.
4? What do you mean?
4?
4?
What's 4 in that?
Alright, no spoilers.
4.
4.
You cannot give me 4 moments from Aeneas lobby that makes you cry. You cannot.
Bro, okay.
From Water 7 and Aeneas. Or maybe I'll give you...
I treat Water 7 and Ennis Lobby as sort of one saga.
Okay.
It's probably about the same length as Skypiea.
Okay. Well, I will say there's 3 that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
And 2 of them did. But the other one didn't, I don't think.
What are your moments then?
Okay, it's spoiler time, everyone.
All right, just allude to, just give me the name of what happened. I'm not going to talk about the topics. All right,
Okay,
so this should be fine.
It's not spoiler time.
It's not spoiler time, and it never will be.
Robin,
yeah, huge.
boat,
massive.
And I don't know, Frankie's bollocks.
Not Frankie is bollocks, bro. Luffy and Usopp.
Oh, that didn't... No.
What?
What are you talking about?
Luffy and Usopp crushed me.
Nah, that didn't get me. I just thought,
It did the close-up of the Merry, and it was crying. Well, they would... Bro, you're heartless.
That didn't get me.
Come on,
that did not get me
man.
at all. Okay, so now I see where you're thinking of that last one.
Yeah, and there was another moment with Soga King.
Oh. What, the flag?
No, not the flag. It was something specifically about... I can't remember what happened. It was something to do with him pretending to be someone else.
I see.
And it got me caught up, and I was like...
I see. Yeah, no. I'll give you... I will say that...
I can't believe you cried over the fucking snake, but you don't care about... Come on, man.
He just wanted to dance. He just wanted to dance. He loved the sound of the bell. He loved it.
He did. Look, I'll give it was very sad. It was a very sweet character moment, but...
Nolan fucked me up.
Nolan,
like,
I didn't give a
times.
fuck. Come on, man.
There's no way. There's no way you like fucking, you know, the next Nolan, but not the actual Nolan.
It's because he was introduced,
mm-hmm.
and then immediately we were given his backstory.
Yeah.
So there was no connection or emotional drama there for me. It was just someone telling me the story of someone who was...
the story, though. The drama was there.
It just didn't... I didn't care about it.
Ah, I did. It was so good.
Alright.
And he was stacked. He was fucking stacked. You see him come out of the water, you're like, who's this? He's massive.
Let's move on from One Piece. We'll probably do just like an episode about One Piece.
Yeah, probably.
Easy. We'll just talk about One Piece arcs. And then anyone who hasn't read it can skip that one for spoilers, but we'll just go fucking in on it. Another manga or anime that you really love?
Oof. Do you know what? I'm not going to say the obvious one, because it might be yours.
Right.
I'm going to say, and we talked about Chainsaw Man already.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, All You Need Is Kill.
Right. Okay. It's a good story.
Yeah. It is probably the shortest story to make me cry.
Right.
I lent it to you.
Yeah.
You enjoyed
I cried.
it. You cried. It's 2 volumes long.
Yeah.
It's 2 volumes. It's like a back and a front, basically.
It's a chunky little graphic novel, but it's just one thing. It's self-contained.
But it's just so good.
It is very good.
You and there's literally there's such an amazing build-up to a particular moment, and then the follow-on from that. It's amazing how short of a story can really impact you and how good it actually is. I know the movie was fucking dreadful.
The movie, by the way, is called oh fuck it, I had 2 different names.
The Battle for Tomorrow or something?
Battle for Tomorrow, and it was also called Live, Die, Repeat.
Ah.
I think Live, Die, Repeat was its
tagline.
No, they changed its name to Live, Die, Repeat in the UK. And because I can't remember why. I think because it did really badly.
It had Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt in it.
Yeah, Tom Cruise was the main character.
That's the movie. So if it doesn't have Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt in it, then it's not the right movie.
It's not the right movie.
It's something called Tomorrow Battle. Or
I think it's Battle for Tomorrow.
Battle for Tomorrow.
I think that sounds right.
Do you know what? Battle for Tomorrow for me, I think I'm remembering that as it had Chris Pratt in it, so it's not the right one. It's not the right one. I
can't remember what it is, but anyway, it's Groundhog Day, but with guns.
Yeah. Basically,
it's very good. It's a great premise. First of all, you're immediately hooked from the first few pages where you realize what's happening, and then you're watching the main character try and realize, and you're like, I see the gimmick here. But then the twists it takes, just talking from a story perspective, is really interesting.
Yeah,
and it hooks you. But then underlying all of that is the big payoff, which is the character moments, right? And it's just the build-up is so good.
And there's not many characters.
No,
there's maybe 3 or 4 important ones that they really focus in on. And I think that just kind of, especially it's great because it's such a short story and it doesn't give a lot of time to get to know them.
Yeah,
it's just better that it doesn't have too many characters.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's probably my other one, and I feel like I know the one you're maybe gonna say.
I'm curious. Well, I would say Chainsaw Man, but we've already talked about it. I can just say number 2, Chainsaw Man. Excuse you.
Excuse me.
I won't sneak up on you.
It did.
I can say number 2, Chainsaw Man. We've already talked about it. Go back to the beginning of the episode if you want to hear me talk about Chainsaw Man. Number 3, why? Well, now I'm second guessing myself because you said it, the obvious one. Yeah, I'll go for it. What do you think I'm gonna say?
Should we do on 3?
Fuck. Okay.
Get one in your head.
I've got one in my head.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Assassination Classroom.
Oh. I think I've said this to you before, and you might have just forgotten about it. Assassination Classroom is a story I love with the characters I really like. It's not one of my top animes.
Mad.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of mine.
I really do like it.
I was inconsolable when I read, not even just at the end.
That's another one that I read on a bus and was
why
crying.
Do you do that to yourself?
It's just you have 7 hours on a coach from London, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Read 8 volumes of Assassination Classroom and be just a mess.
Yeah.
A mess on public transport.
Honestly, I remember I think it was like 3 a.m. or something when I finished volume 17 of Assassination Classroom, which is not the final one.
No.
I think it's going to be
it's like 5 away from the final one.
Yeah, it's like 5 away from the final one. It broke me. It broke me like no other form of media has ever broke me before. I was like, I had to walk outside and parade the darkness of the night just to calm down because I was just sobbing.
Insane.
I was like sobbing. Like it felt like a family member had been hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Like suddenly, and I'd just been called about it, and I was just like, "Aah!" Like I was gone. I was absolutely gone.
No, it had moments that really got to me, and I cried. I laughed out loud.
Oh yeah, the comedy is incredible.
It was really good, but yeah, I think something about it. A lot of Assassination Classroom spends a lot of time being a slice of life manga, which works for getting you invested in the characters and getting to know them. And obviously, there's such a large cast of characters that having little moments in every volume to spend with several members of the class is great.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. I didn't feel like as deep a connection with that as something that's more story driven.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, brilliant series. Highly recommended, but not like one of my top.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I said Beastars because I panicked. Beastars is not like one of my favorite stories, but it's just it's so unorthodox, dude. The way that it tells a love story is unlike any other love story I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, it's genuinely incomparable to other things within the same genre. And I love it for that. And it also, like, handles... you get this the trope of using animal characters to present ideas, usually racism, right? And what's interesting in Beastars is it takes that concept, but then goes, what if it wasn't just we're trying to tell you that racism is bad? What if we're actually trying to explore what a world would realistically function like with these principles in place? So it's like, you get through a few volumes and like, I see, it's like, carnivores and herbivores, racism, it's bad. But then it gets into the workings of, no, if a society really did exist like this, it's like, it's so complex, it's so difficult. It doesn't just become an allegory for real life. I'm explaining it terribly, but it's just it's so nuanced.
It has its own sort of problems that would not exist in the real world, that have nothing to do with racism or like real life racism. Or
it begins to feel like an allegory, and you're like, I understand what the author's trying to say. And then 5 volumes later, you're like, what the fuck is the author trying to say? But it's like, it's such an interesting, like, oh man, I just haven't encountered a story like Beastars before.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of my top ones.
Very good.
Very good. There we go.
That's the positive section.
Yeah. Should we complain about something again?
Yeah.
What don't you like?
Oh, Nazis. Hate them.
Hate them. Not big on them anymore.
Little bastards.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, we've been going for an hour and 5 minutes.
An hour and 5 minutes.
So an outro section of 10 minutes or so would be greatly appreciated by the audience, I reckon.
I bet it would.
I bet it would.
What did we say? We made notes. I made notes and sent you them.
Notes.
Is there anything worthwhile in there?
Let me check the notes. You brought a thing. This is great visual comedy. However,
I'm genuinely seeing if there's anything in the room.
I brought a thing is not great for an audio podcast.
I brought a thing's good because I can just tell you what it is. You don't need to see it,
I suppose.
But then this podcast is still in very rough stages where we're planning things out, and we're just like,
if that's the case, here I brought my replica MF Doom BFG gun.
Did you just describe the game Doom as MF Doom?
Look, man, I'm just riffing. I'm just riffing here. But what I'm saying is I have a very big gun in front of me.
I can see it. I can see the large gun.
It's a very large gun. When I put it on the table, it didn't sound very large, and that is because it has a foam base.
Right, that makes sense. It's a replica.
It's a replica of such massive gun. I can't understate the size of this gun.
We cannot underemphasize.
It's taking up the whole table.
When they said BFG,
they meant big fucking gun.
Yeah, and it is. I can see it.
It's huge. It's absolutely massive.
Surprised you didn't sort of hit the microphone on the way.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, if I put it down now, obviously it's away now. So.
There we go. We've tucked it away.
Yeah,
so I can stop looking because it was quite intimidating.
It was.
To be honest.
It was. So that's the I brought a thing section of the podcast. Which
no, look, I've got a concept for it. You don't understand my vision.
Okay.
All right. But next episode, I'll bring a thing.
Okay.
All right, and then you'll understand the segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next episode, you can all look forward to Mark's thing.
My thing.
Yes.
I will show Connor my thing.
Please do.
Was there any other ideas that I'd noted down?
There was recent events, comment of the week. Try not to laugh, and a book club section. So which of those would you like to experience right now?
Well, you haven't made any notes, have you?
Any of them tickle your fancy?
You can't criticise my shitey ideas when you haven't brought any in.
Well, I'm pretty sure my idea was the podcast. So
no,
yeah,
we both wanted to do a podcast.
Yeah, I brought it up. I had the initiative.
Well, you've got to also do some fucking planning for it.
All right. Well, I like the idea of recent events in the what are we going to be doing, later.
Later. Why did you start laughing?
I might put my chips in. Like,
all right, yeah. Later. No, not what we're doing later today. It's what are we doing in general?
In general, later on. Yeah.
I mean, recent events. What career-wise, recent events for us include the Anime Rap Takeover.
Yes.
Which was
we are a part
incredible.
Of that.
A new collective of artists who perform together. We're not like a rap collective. We're not Loop. No. We're not Otaku Underworld. We're like a performance collective, I guess.
Yeah.
We're a collective of artists that perform together. So we did MomoCon, which was incredible. And next month we're doing MPC in Chicago.
I believe we're flying the banner on that.
Yeah. So that might be Anime Rap Takeover, or it just might be us as ourselves. Yeah. Either way, we're all going to be there.
Beyond that, we will probably look at, various other conventions.
Yeah,
and
conventions and maybe just shows.
Yeah.
In, our own shows.
Yeah.
So...
big, stinky room full of us all.
Full of nerds.
Yeah.
Full of fucking geeks.
Big, stinky nerds.
Yeah. Yeah. And then invite the fans. The joke there is that we are the stinky nerds.
We are the big stinky nerds.
Yeah, live performance is like one huge thing I feel like we're
going
to be doing a bunch of moving forward.
Absolutely. So, look out for those. Look out for more episodes of this podcast. If you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed us chatting absolute shite for nearly an hour of your lives, over an hour of your lives, then let us know and we'll do it more often.
Yeah. What I think going forward is, guys, if you're on YouTube or if you're, just messaging on Twitter or wherever, right? hit us with ideas for what you want to see us talk about, or segments that we could do on the podcast. Because I know Connor's not brainstorming. Yeah,
this is the pilot, man.
He's not coming with anything.
It's the pilot episode.
It's the pilot episode, and it's just been us fucking rambling.
Yeah, we already cleared it with the production team.
Who's the production team?
No one, because we didn't have to pitch. Yeah, we didn't have to pitch anything.
No, I suppose not.
We just did it.
But leave some ideas. I'm going to be brainstorming myself and coming up with things that I'm going to keep from you, so I can sort of introduce you to them fresh on the air.
Good idea.
I'll prepare some things, and most importantly, we need to come up with an intro and outro.
Oh God. Okay.
We
had this trouble last time.
Yeah, well, this is my favorite part of podcasts, right? It's a snappy little catchphrase. I think for an opener, it will be something like, "Hello, welcome to the NANICAST. I'm Shwabadi," and then you'll say, "I'm Connor Quest." Or we'll alternate whichever one we feel like, and then I'll be like,
and for the outro,
no,
Napalm, get down. I think that's good. That's snappy. That gets everyone's blood pumping, right at the end.
Fucking hell. I was gonna say I wasn't finished with the intro.
I see.
It's like, "I'm Shwabadi, this is Connor Quest," and I'm like, "Welcome to the NANICAST. Grab your cup of sake and your favorite body pillow. We're about to get weeby."
Okay, so personally, I never want to hear you say that
again. That's valid.
Yeah, I don't know. Outro wise, I'm just happy kind of winging it, doing whatever.
Oh, you would be.
I would be.
I like a little bit of structure.
I'm very blasé.
Yeah. Well, this has been the NANICAST.
It has. Whatever that is.
Whatever that is. We'll find out as we go.
Yeah.
It's a podcast that makes you say, "Nani?" What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that?
Well, I've got the intro.
Oh.
I'm like, "Welcome to the NANICAST, where I, Shwabadi, as Connor Quest, Nani o shitemasu?"
And I say, "I don't speak Japanese."
Oh, so desu ne.
Yeah, look out for episode 2 where we're going to have the sign. And
we're not going to have
see you all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.